surprised that it's not showing me with my chip count, but that's okay. I thought it'd be showing top 100. Under 400 people remaining in the tournament now. 396 according to the count on the lobby. So just about 100 people to go, and we will be in the money. 104 people, 103, 102, and 100 people to go, and we will be in the money, ladies and gentlemen. This is probably a hand that needs to be defended, depending on the kind of action that comes in. Could definitely try to raise here pre-flop, but I think just checking through to see a free flop is going to be the best thing for me to do most of the time. And that's a pretty darn good flop for our hand. Obviously, the ace kind of cripples our low draw a little bit, but it depends on the way things come out at the end. We can still win on low, and we got a pretty wicked, well, we got a pretty decent spade draw, so I think we're happy with that. And it was a check, or it was a limped pot pre-flop, so I think putting the bet in there is a decent way to go. But I think now I'll check behind and see what. I have a feeling that we're going to check through to a free river here, probably. Apparently not. It's probably a pretty nitty fold, but I think I have to get rid of that. I don't think I can draw there, and even still, I might be drawing dead, right? I mean, it might be higher spades potentially out there. So I really think that's probably not going to be a profitable call a lot of the times, or reshove. I don't know. Maybe a reshove there might have worked. $357 people remaining in the tournament. Gonna raise this one on the button, I think. Not surprised we took that one down. We've been playing pretty tight, and everybody sees that. It's looking like it's going to be a cash in this one without too much effort at this point, unless something horribly catastrophic happens, which is never something that I will rule out on my part to cause something horribly catastrophic to happen to my chip stack, but it's certainly happened before. But we'll see how it goes. 3:45 left, so we're very close. 50, almost 50, a little bit more than 50 people to go, and so we're in the money. I don't imagine we'll be in the money before the break, but very shortly after the break, I think we're going to be counting our pennies. And there's going to be a lot of pennies to count in this one because I'm in cash as $89.19. Which would be just okay if we were in this for the $55 buy-in, but in fact we're in it for $19.20 worth of satellite, so the $89 return is like a 4-to-1 return for us. So it would be pretty awesome to. We're, obviously I want to go farther than that, and I'm not counting on a min cash, but once we get in the money, we're free rolling, like pretty seriously free rolling this one. So pretty happy with that situation. This is a sort of hand that I could definitely defend. Potentially even do a shove at a different stage of the tournament. It's probably something that I fold. I would have folded there to action from Papa Dog just because of the spot that we're in. Folding that with no low possibilities, I think. $333 left, so getting very close. Less than 50 to go now. Gonna fold that in this spot. Obviously, hitting the jack for our set would have been pretty nice. And yeah, we would have full housed on this one, but what are you gonna do? Again, that's a fold. 318, so exactly 30 people to go until we're in the money. Fold that. Probably played in a Omaha high situation, but not in a high-low situation. Certainly not in this spot anyways. Still obviously pretty happy with my position right now. I've definitely been pretty tight and pretty nitty for the past couple of levels, just um, in short, because I don't really want to bust out before the money in this one. Um, but at the same time, that just plays into my longer term tournament strategy notion that having chips to play the next hand is almost always worth more than a huge risk or a huge race in these spots from an ICM perspective anyways. Full here, 309 left, so we're looking at basically 20 people, 308, 20 people to go until we're in the money. Definitely a playable hand. The fact that I'm out of position and in this spot that we're in right now in the tournament definitely makes it a fairly easy fold, I think. Folding there. Definitely closing in on the bubble. You could say we're in bubble play at the moment, even though it hasn't gone hand for hand yet. It will be going hand for hand in 10 or 15 more bust outs. We're in the break, so I am going to shut the camera down, shut the mic down, and I will be back in a few short minutes. Alrighty, I am back. So 296 people remaining, which means 8 to go until we're in the money. Let's get that back on. Let's get the break off. Let's fold that hand while we're doing all this stuff. Let's get our video camera back on. Hello, I'm back. So 296 people remaining, 295 now, 288 pay, so very close to the money. Welcome to everybody just tuning in to Anything But HoldEm here. We're playing the TCOOP-02, the $55 no limit Omaha high-low turbo six-handed. I got into this through satellites, paid about $19.20 over 3 satellites before I got my ticket. And here we are, just about going to cash. Once we get into cash, pretty much free roll on the whole thing. Of course, we're always shooting for the top prize. Getting all the chips at the end is the only prize you're ever interested in poker. But the first step in doing that is to get past the bubble stage. So let's get into the money, and then let's talk about winning the darn thing. Down to 3 people, it is absolutely going to be hitting and hand-for-hand play very soon now. In fact, if it's not hitting hand-for-hand right away, I think it's going to hit at, if it's not at 2, it'll hit at 290, I'm sure. I'm sure it will be hand-for-hand now. This hand is definitely going to be played hand-for-hand. And I think I'm probably going to time bank this a fair bit. I think I'm going to be folding this almost all the time, unless it happens to click down below 288 before the end, but I'm going to time bank this. I don't have much for time bank left. I think I'm down to 0, in fact. Yeah, I'm down to 0, so I don't have much for time bank left, but I'm going to time bank it as much as I can. I think I'm going to let myself time out here. Hand-for-hand play. Smallest stack 0. We're definitely in the money now, I think. I might have actually called that one, now that I think about it, given that I knew we were going to be in the money. Pair of 5s with an 8-5 low and 2 suits might have been worth the gamble there. Probably was, in fact. I probably should have looked at that a little bit closer, but that's okay. Basically, at this point, I am free rolling. Pretty happy about that. Gonna obviously be opening up my game a fair bit at this stage, I think. Not really much else I can do now. I'm sitting at like 10 big blinds, so it's interesting that the tournament clock continues during hand-for-hand play. So the blinds are actually increasing. I just noticed the blind clock change there while we're sitting in here. So the blinds are actually potentially increasing while we're sitting here waiting for people to play out their hands. Gonna fold this one out. We are in the money now for the record. 287 people remaining, so cashola is in our bank account. I think we're in with this one. And we're out. So we min cashed. But hey, that's okay. So that's okay. Thanks for hanging out. 70 bucks profit. I'm pretty happy with that. Could have gone deeper, but you know, I'm pretty happy with where I put my money in. And I think it's going to work out for me well in a lot of cases. So thanks for hanging out. We will be back again later. I think there's a deuce to 7 coming up on Sunday that I'm going to probably try to play some sats for, so might see me in that. I'm going to look for a couple other things and probably be back tomorrow for another stream. So thank you very much for hanging out here with me on Anything But Hold'em, and we'll see you next time. Later.